Welcome back to an episode of Alternate Planes. On this episode, we're going to be talking about UAPs and the government releasing new files. As of yesterday, the 22nd of May, the United States government has released so many more videos and documentation that there's proof that UAPs, UFOs exist.
They absolutely 100% exist. But I find it really interesting that there's all these video dumps and all of the information they've been hiding for 80 years.
It's scary because it's new and we don't know what it is. So let's hide it from everybody.
I think the days of hiding it all are over. They're not going to release like the tech that we've reverse engineered or the tech that we...
Sorry, hold on a second. I've got a really wicked itchy nose. Wow, man, that was like the itchiest nostril I've had since like 96.
Since 96?
Yeah.
What happened in 96?
Oh, man, you don't want to know in 96 that the right itchy nostril, that was intense. There we go. So these government files that have been released, like right here we have our computer up and we're looking at this video of orbs, I believe in the Chinese Ocean. What is this? Multiple spherical UAP USO near sub. This was reported back in 2022, January, March of 2022, in and out of the water. There's orbs going around these submarines.
Oh, yeah.
There's little balls, and I'm kind of curious of who's observing this submarine. Like, do we have constant surveillance on our stuff all the time?
Yeah. We do.
Oh, well, that makes sense. You know, we got to keep eyes on our assets.
Right. We have a lot of military satellites that are watching our troops, watching our military vessels.
The big question about this episode specifically, it's on the government documents that have been released. Mm-hmm. So the big question is, we're followers of Christ, second coming. People are saying that these are possibly demons. So the question is, does God and Jesus exist with this higher intelligence? And people are saying, you know, that they're the ones that created us, possibly by splicing our genes with them and this and that.
Right. Well, they haven't come out with this yet. We'll find that out probably before too long. From my understanding, that's what we're going to be told.
So give the audience a little backstory, just a short backstory of your walk with Christ and your knowledge of the Bible, and you've read stuff, you know. Are you just a guy that just has gone to church and has read the Bible from time to time?
Well, I actually went to Bible college down in San Diego for a while. I did a lot of biblical study, you know, a lot of memorization, which, you know, my memory is not very good. So, you know, not so good at all of that, but you know,
mine, man.
Paraphrasing, I suppose I can. You know, I'm kind of not just a Joe Smo off the street that's read, you know, a couple of passages here or there, but
yeah,
I'm a follower of Christ myself.
So follower of Christ, and then we investigate paranormal stuff, and a lot of the taboo in the Christian realm, or followers of Christ, is. I even had a family member of mine heed warning, because they experienced themselves, and I don't blame them for them heeding warning about doing this stuff, but they experienced an actual exorcism of a loved one. Mm-hmm. They themselves. So they were scared of me going down this path with investigating the paranormal. And I had to reaffirm them and reassure them that my faith will never waver in the eyes of the adversary or the eyes of the unknown. So with what media is saying, with the first time the government releasing a lot of intense stuff that's been conspiracy theory for fucking decades.
Yeah. 80 years.
So if all of a sudden this big old UFO or these creatures, you know, these different species that are claimed to that exist, and they're like,
we were actually your creators, and we made up all the world's religions.
and I'm supposed to go, sure. But also, man created religion.
Yeah, right.
Man created it.
Exactly.
There's, when Christ was on the earth, there wasn't like a Christian church.
Right.
There wasn't all this stuff.
Right. Well, if you read and follow the Bible, Judaism goes way back. They were told by God. Christianity doesn't start until Christ. As far as Orthodox religion goes, I have a really hard time with organized religion. I really do.
I agree.
Like you said, it's more man-made than it is following the teachings of God.
The one that created the heavens and earth and water and skies and birds,
exactly,
and fish and us.
Right. Yeah. So, who do you really want to follow? Some guy behind a bullpit that is maybe giving you half the truth, or do you want to read it for yourself and follow your heart and not what your religious leader is telling you to do?
Because it's been very unfortunate that religion and Christianity has been weaponized over the centuries, and has put a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. It put a bad taste in my mouth because I was raised Mormon,
right?
And that's a story for another time. But I had to find my faith through find it in my own heart.
Right.
So wavering from that and knowing what a life it was without it, and then a life with it, I like the life with it.
Right.
So if some kind of entity comes, or some kind of alien or species that we've never experienced, and they're of higher intelligence and in the future, and they go, I created you, follow me. And I'd be like, nope.
No, me either. This is a question for the audience. What are you guys going to do when a being shows up and can do miraculous signs and wonders and says that we were your creator, we were responsible for Jesus, we were responsible for all of the religions of the world?
See, a Whitney Houston quote comes to my brain with that one is, show me the receipts.
Show me the receipts.
They claim all this stuff, and it's almost like, I'm not going to ask you to prove it, but
right,
prove it.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Biblically speaking, if you look at Revelations, there you're going to have signs and wonders, and someone who's going to call themselves a Christ, but that's not him.
False prophets.
A false prophet. And he doesn't, Jesus' actual second coming comes after that.
Are we experiencing the beginning of the second coming finally?
Boy, that's a loaded question. I do not know, and I cannot answer that one.
What do you guys think? Well, as far as the second coming goes, I've been seeing it like a lot of stuff my entire life, and people are like, "Oh my gosh!"
Right.
And at this point in my life in the world, I really hope the Lord comes right now. I'm ready to go home, with my family.
Right. I will say that I believe we're at the precipice of change. Something is taking place. What that exactly is, or what it's going to look like, I don't know. I do believe that we are going to have open contact next year in 2027.
And when you say open contact,
what I mean by open contact is aliens showing up and being here. We're going to see them not only just in the sky, but on the ground, out walking around, doing interviews. And I don't know if they're, I don't think that they're all 100% peaceful. I would like to think that most of them are.
Hopefully.
Well,
because humans, our species is just a destructive species by nature.
Humans are, yes, very destructive. We're very warlike.
We just like to shit where we eat all the time.
Well,
power, money, greed, control.
I'm really hoping that 99% of whatever species that we're going to be encountering will be far advanced past that warlike stage,
Yeah.
right?
Like they've outgrown war and they realize, hey,
Right.
we should more get along
Right, and I think that's
than
one of
fight each other.
I think that's one of the reasons that they're so interested in our military assets. It's humanity in general, not just the United States' military, not just Russia's military, just not China, right?
The whole human race.
Right. We every aspect of humanity, we are war based, and I think they're very concerned with that.
Well, like in these videos that we're looking at, they're hovering around military
Exactly.
vehicles,
Right.
military equipment. I was stationed in Malmstrom Air Force Base in the Air Force and guarded all the nuclear warheads, all the launch facilities, and all that. And that's an upcoming episode. We're going to cover the incident that happened in the 60s of 10 launch facilities being powered down and then armed,
Right.
and reports of a UAP UFO above that area of the missile complex.
Right.
So it's like they see what we're doing and they're just checking us out. And what's your take on that? Are they trying to study us? I believe you mentioned that some claim to be from the future.
Yeah, they do. What I think that they are doing is evaluating our capabilities. Is what they are doing. And as far as some of them being from the future, there is talk of two different entities, the P-47s, which I believe it means persons from 47,000 years in advance of us, and the other one is P-52s, which are 52,000 years in advance of us.
And you said P-52, not B-52, like Love Shack?
No.
Love Shack!
Yeah,
Love
no.
Shack, baby.
No, I find it interesting. It seems like they're both named after airplanes. P-47s, P-42s.
You're like, what are you talking about? A
Right.
plane?
Right.
What if they are talking about alternate plane?
Right. Right. Is it an alternate planes or is it a Corsair? But this theory is really interesting to me because, to our understanding of physics, it's possible to go into the future, but not backward in time. So I don't see how, unless, of course, they are on a different dimensional plane and they're able to cross from one dimension to the next. So their timeline is 47 or 52,000 years advanced more than us.
And you're like linear, like it's one line, right?
Yes, but let's just say that their timeline, their reality or dimensional plane lies here. Ours lies here. Okay. Well, if their timeline is out here at 47,000 years more advanced than us, I'm kind of thinking that maybe their timeline just started sooner than ours. So,
and
if
this is
we're
like keeping
here,
in mind that it's a linear timeline,
yeah,
not like a circular, or like how a black hole can fold.
yeah.
No,
I don't know. I don't think so. But it's. I'm not a physicist. I am not really diverse in studying on all of this, really. But to my mind, I would think that if we started at different timelines, right? Like we started back here, they started at they're 47,000 years more advanced than us in their dimensional plane, and if we started after them, we'd be more or less lined up, and all they have to do is jump from their dimension to ours.
Okay.
Right? Same with the P-52s. Our timeline had just started later than theirs, and they're just able to jump from their dimension into ours, versus being a human that is 47,000 years in advanced from us, and then being able to travel backwards in time. I just don't see how backwards travel would really be possible. I forward makes sense.
Right,
But-
forward and maybe side to side, like jumping from this plane to this plane.
Yeah, jumping different planes or dimensions, I see it being much more of a physical reality than be able to go backwards in time. I just don't see it. But, it's a possibility, I guess. I mean, at this point, at this stage of our reality, the plane that we're on, everything is shifting and changing so fast right now. Almost anything is possible, I think, at this point.
Yeah. A lot of things are possible, and a lot of truth is coming out with all these documents and videos and PDFs and all this stuff that you can download. I never thought in my lifetime, like watching all these shows and TV and documentaries, that we would be here talking about them releasing actual documents and so much more than they've... Like, there's pictures of the Apollo missions.
Right.
And this is all... What's the website? War.gov.
Yep.
War.gov, just Google war.gov. It's all accessed. Anybody can access it.
Right. It is literally from the War Department.
Yeah, it's from the War Department and has all this stuff. So check it out. But it's just... It's kind of like, it's nice because it's validating all these stories and all these people that have had to take these experiences and push them down and not talk about them because society's like, you're crazy.
Right.
You're going to have to be assessed. So it's nice that there's, they're like, oh, see, I'm not crazy. Look.
Right.
Like we talked about before for the Borrego, people that are in the sky all the time, pilots, people that are in the ocean, in submarines, military, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden you see all these little things hovering around.
Right.
It's not a bird.
Right. No,
A bird doesn't fly that far. It doesn't do any of that. So what would it be out in the middle of the ocean?
That's right.
What would it be in the middle of the sky?
That's right. Yep.
So anybody out there right now, you have no area to say UFOs and UAPs don't exist. Okay?
Right.
Guess who's the crazy one now? You.
Right.
It's like, come on. The evidence is in your face.
Right.
So...
Oh, yeah, they're here and they're here to stay. And, that's the thing. I also think that that there are certain elements or species that have been here and traversing our plane forever.
Mm-hmm. Just like, 1940s was 80 years ago, right? That's 80 years. It's not even 100 years.
Right.
So you don't think that an advanced species would be able to be doing this stuff for 80 years or before that?
Right. Well, I think that's one of their interests in us too. Before 1900, where we were in horses and buggies.
Yeah.
Horses and buggies, and we were still making homes out of whatever we could
Mud
find.
and trees.
Right. Pretty much.
Mud,
Right.
trees, and grass.
Right. Mud, trees, grass. We were building homesteads from what the earth provided. And now we have nuclear-powered submarines. We have the ability to put someone in a spaceship and launch them to Mars.
And I bet they're all looking at our rockets and stuff. They're like, man, look at these primitive humans.
Oh, yeah.
we can go from surface of the earth to space in
Just a couple seconds.
just that, and then be fine and take off.
Exactly. So, yeah, but I think they're really interested in how fast our technologies have advanced. Has some of that been from their help?
Right? Have they helped us? Like, or we're just finding their crash stuff, and we're just reverse engineering everything, and not actually having communication fully with the
Right.
ones that made it.
Right. Well, and that has to bring up another question too. If they are advanced enough to travel interstellar, avoid asteroids, avoid the Kuiper Belt, And then they come into our atmosphere and crash? What the heck is going on with that?
I didn't even think about that. That makes right. That's like people that go, okay, I believe that God created the earth and this and this and this, but I don't believe in Jesus Christ because I don't believe that in immaculate conception.
Right.
What? I mean, you can believe in this huge power, but you can't think that huge power can't do something small.
Right.
So
Right.
I didn't even really think about that. So yeah, if they have this technology to move through all this stuff and then they crash on Earth, or maybe it's like just like any kind of vehicle, it can break down.
Right.
But if it's like
Right.
just going on fumes and then it crashes, right?
Right.
Were they running from something?
Right. Hey, Bubba, did you put gas in the UFO?
Oh, I knew I forgot something.
Damn it, you had one job, Bubba.
It's pretty crazy.
It's odd. I mean, there's been talk that we're the ones shooting them down.
I believe that. Look at our species. We're scared, so we're just and ask questions later.
Right. Yeah.
That's the human nature right there.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It's scary because it's new. What do you feel is going to happen in the next year? So they just released more documents, files, videos just yesterday.
Right.
And the first release was March 8th or
Right.
May 8th.
May 8th.
So
Yep. It's only been a couple of weeks, and we've gotten
Mayday.
an awful lot of files.
So what do you think is going to happen in the next 6 months?
Well,
Year?
I believe they're going to keep sending us more files. We're going to keep getting more and more and more evidence to their existence. I think that they are going to tell us what species have been visiting us the most and the ones that our government knows about. I believe that's going to happen. And there are 4 that I believe we have been in pretty much in consistent contact with. That would be the Nordics or the tall whites. They're 6 foot tall, white, pale skin, blue eyed, blonde hair. And then you've got these little guys. You've got the grays, which I believe there's 2 different species of those, or maybe more.
And these kind of looked like the pictures of the P-47s and the P-52s. They do kind of look like this.
A little bit.
They have this bulbous head. The eyes are more human-like.
Right.
They're not the big black eyes.
Well, you know what
And their nose even.
these giant black eyes. I don't think that's actually the eye.
I think it's like maybe like
It's a lens.
A
I
lens?
think it's a lens. Yeah.
Like a protective.
Yeah, kind of like a contact lens, right? They put it over.
Kind of like us in like
eyes,
safety
right?
glasses and stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but I think it's protecting them from UV rays or whatever.
Radiation.
Radiation, right?
And if they are a species of us in the future, if they are like human species-ish, that would make sense. They would need that kind of protection. Interesting. And that brings us to our next episode, because every time we talk about this stuff and this technology and the aliens and stuff like that, there's some movies that are coming out. There's some, S4 documentary just came out with Bob Lazar.
Yep.
There's all this stuff, these documentaries, the Age of Disclosure.
Age of Disclosure.
All these scientists going missing. Like it's a hot topic.
Oh, it's
so,
intense, right?
but then, I just watched Star Wars the other day. And so all the relation to like that kind of stuff, I'm all, wait, okay, Hollywood.
Right.
You've known some stuff, and you've just been like, it's a movie.
Right.
Anyway,
Well,
that's gonna be that's the next episode. We're gonna talk about Hollywood and all this and how they have known about stuff of this information and put it in movies straight to our faces for entertainment.
Right. Right. Well, it really is desensitization.
Yeah.
Right. That is really what it boils down to when you boil the frog.
And my question on the boil of the frog in the pot, where did that come up? Why is it a frog, and who's boiling a frog? I know you can eat frog legs, but
Right.
you know,
Well, if you try to take a frog and put them in boiling water,
they're gonna jump out.
it'll jump out. But if you put them in a cold pan
And they're like, "Oh, this is nice."
and then slowly raise the heat, they don't really notice the difference until it's too late.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of what's been going on with all this information, you know. So like if you start small with desensitization and you grow it a little over months, years, decades, you know, and now we're hitting 80, 90 years into this, a lot of us are like, yeah, okay, they exist, but, you know, it's so what? It's not that big of a deal anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it makes sense that they've been desensitizing us in Hollywood for decades.
Right. With, I think, a lot of insider information, which we will talk about on the next episode.
So if you haven't yet, go to war.gov and also Arrow. I forget the website for that. Arrow, AARO. That program studies UAPs. There's more stuff on there. They also break down scientifically, like reading these reports on actual material metals that they found in the 1947 recovered, and the chemical and element breakdown
Right.
of what the elements are in this metal that's
Right.
not of the earth.
Right.
I'm all looking at, and they even show a chunk of it, and I'm just like, this could be the biggest lie that the earth that the United States government has released to us.
Well, and
Or it's all true.
that's the thing. It's all true. The aliens are real. They have been active on every single continent. They have interacted.
Yep, there's reports from all different militaries from around the world, not just the
yeah.
United States.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of the Malmstrom Air Force Base, I believe that was in 1969. Did you know that Russia had exactly the same thing happen?
They did too.
Exactly the same thing.
Of course.
Yep.
See, that doesn't surprise me.
Yep. They showed up and they were able to overtake the electrical grid for their nuclear armament, and they set them all to launch. And back in the day, I guess where they were pointing.
Was it around the same time that they did it to the U.S.?
I'll have to go back and look
Because that'd be interesting if it happened around the same time.
I believe it was a different date, but I'll have to go back and look that up for you.
Okay. Interesting. Well, Dennis, we talked about the existence of UFOs, aliens, UAPs.
Yep.
We talked about Christianity.
There we go.
Christianity. Why can't I say that?
Sounds like you're trying.
I'm trying to wait.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. We talked about how some people are claiming the UAPs and possible aliens are demons. We talked about our own walk with our faith and covered some good stuff.
Yep. And I think we're going to have to come back to this topic again as more files are released. We need to sit down and really start to go through some of these. And we'll try to bring up the most important and most relevant aspect to the release files. Go through the most interesting stuff for our audience and try and put it into a format that's understandable for everybody.
And we like to look over this stuff ourselves, and there's so much, I don't think we'll ever be able to read all of it. But just getting the information for our investigations so that we have some kind of knowledge of what we're possibly looking at or experiencing.
Right. Yep.
Well, Dennis, it's been a great episode. And we're going to see you guys on the next one where we're going to be talking about UAPs and how Hollywood has known about all this stuff and has been slowly boiling us.
Right.
Desensitizing us.
Right.
But we appreciate you. Thank you for watching the Alternate Planes podcast.
Till next time.
Do you believe in alternate planes?